Word. Thank you guys for joining us today on the call. So this is our 4 color personalities. And just to recap, this is the 3rd one in our series. And, it's a book by Big Al. There are tons of personality tests out there, but this one is specific to network marketing. And everyone falls into one of these 4 color personalities. Just to recap, if maybe this is your first time on the call, but the sooner you kind of learn these color personalities, learn how to spot them, and learn how to talk to these people, the more successful your Plexus business is going to be. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind as we talk about these. One color doesn't define everyone. So typically we're a mixture of 2, sometimes more, but one color usually though tends to drive our decisions. And as I'm talking about the blues today, we're going to be using exaggerated examples just to get our point across. So we are super lucky to have Emerald Elizabeth Credno on the call with us. She is amazing. She's a rock star. She's our guest blue. But before I kind of turn it over to her, I want to go over some blue characteristics. And if you guys have any questions, you can definitely just chat them in on the call. We'll be happy to answer them. So blues, you could describe blues in one word, and that is party. Right? Blues are your social butterflies. I am a red blue, and it depends on the day which one is winning. So I can relate to a lot of what they say here about blues. We love to have fun. We love adventure. We love to travel. We love to try new things. And we love being around a bunch of people and being around new people. A lot of times this goes hand in hand with people who are extroverted, but not always. Blues are great for network marketing, because we have never met a stranger. And we're super easy to recognize because we will not stop talking. Now, sometimes because we're talking all of the time, we are seen as rude because we interrupt people. But that's not what we're actually doing. When someone is sharing with us, we are so excited to share with them. We tend to talk while they're talking. The other times when it seems like we're interrupting, it's because if you stop your conversation for a split second, we can't stand that silence, so we have to fill it. We just don't like any of that silence. So we are sometimes seen as rude, but we're not. We just love to talk and relate to people. Here's the thing, though, about blues, guys. There is kind of a downside, even though they're great at network marketing, and they're actually right now, blues don't even know it. They don't even know how great they'd be at Plexus because they're working their networks right now. They are building their networks for Plexus, and they have no idea. But the downside is we never listen. We are always talking, and our mind is always going about 200 miles an hour in about 200 different directions all at the same time. So we don't always listen to you. So you got to keep that in mind when you're talking to a blue. You either may have to mention things a few times or repeat yourself. I'm going to give you guys a perfect example of this. I was actually at the Big Al training in Houston, Texas, where he's talking about the 4 color personalities. And he tells everyone, if you're a blue, raise your hand. Well, I didn't raise my hand because I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy talking to the person sitting next to me. Sarah Taylor, who's my upline, she's a red, and she kept telling me, Amy, pay attention. You're not paying attention. Well, that's a perfect example of a blue. We're too busy talking, Now, to attract blues, you don't need to be bothered with like facts and figures and information. We don't even care about that stuff, really. We're all about action, though. So if you have blues on your team, we don't waste time like pondering and thinking and really thinking it out. We are quick to act. We might think about it later, but we are all about making things happen. So they're great to have on your team. We won't wait around for someone to make a decision. We'll make the decision and get moving. So if you've been on the other calls with us or you've watched the videos, we always talk about the meeting or the banquet scenario and what happens when a certain color walks into the room. So if you can imagine a banquet room or a meeting room and a blue walks in and there's only 2 tables, one table is full of people, another table only has one guy sitting by himself. Which table does the blue go to? The blue goes to the table with all the people. They don't go to the table with just one person. That's where the yellow goes because the yellow feels bad for that person being by themselves. The blues, they want to be around the loudest and most exciting group. So some words to keep in mind when you're thinking of blues is like fun, awesome, travel, exciting, excellent, people, social, those sorts of things. So those are just some characteristics. I'm actually now going to turn it over to Elizabeth to talk about how she actually, what attracted her to Plexus as a blue, and maybe how you can attract blues or how you can motivate blues that you currently have.
Wow, I don't even know what else I can say. Gosh, Amy just summed it up perfectly. And on that color personality test, I scored a 95 with a blue. I am so blue that it's just crazy. And I will have to say, if you can get blues on your team and to feel passionate about Plexus, that is just, you will just ride that wave, because blues have so many friends. And so if you can get them to be passionate about the products and to try it and where they feel compelled to share, it's going to be great for your business. Okay, so first of all, posting attraction marketing is huge for a blue personality. You have to engage blues with very fun, engaging posts and comment on their posts. Just build the relationship and the friendship. Avoid hot topics. Blues do not like anything messy, uncomfortable, grumpy, negative. No political posts, no complaining about how you've had such a rough day. Blues just want to have fun, be happy, and on social media, they like to just keep it light. So make sure that you are constantly posting engaging, fun, uplifting, happy material. When in doubt, Google funny meme and just post a funny picture, because blues will appreciate the giggle during the day, and it will draw them to you. Comment on their things so that you can help build that relationship with a blue. And definitely post any type of, I think that a lot of times, this is where I'm going to, like, post your favorite things. I think that some people who don't understand a blue personality, or like whenever I'm posting, because I'm a huge, like, I love makeup and I love girly stuff. And so when I post stuff like that, you know, I think that maybe some people that are like greens or on the complete opposite spectrum might see that as maybe I'm being vain, or maybe, you know, I'm like, oh, look at me, I have this great mascara or something. That's not it. Blues love to share. Blues like to do anything fun and anything with their passion. And, you know, makeup and Plexus and like sharing what I love, that's all fun and passionate for me. So if you can share things that you love regularly, blues appreciate that, and they really like it. They kind of like the fun of shopping on Facebook through their friends' lives and their friends sharing. Like, I literally bought a vacuum that a friend posted, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. I mean, blues are very impulsive. They don't think things through. So when somebody posts something, they just kind of go with it. And if it's getting a lot of comments and it's happy, so I would keep that in mind. I'd also post outings. When you are going on Plexus events, outings, if it's just a coffee, if it's happy hour, if it's a dinner, whatever it is, post selfies, tag yourself, and make your posts a little, you can be very direct with your Plexus posts. Like, I just love my Plexus friends. We have so much fun together. Absolutely. But also you can do it more subtly as well. So you can use hashtags, and that's what I say, do it more subtly, because blues are all about the hashtags because they're fun. So we like to read them and try to figure out what somebody's saying. And so if it's a cute, funny one, or it draws us to it even more. So we like it. So I'm always hashtagging Cool Club and just silly, ridiculous things like that that will attract blue personalities. So definitely always post selfies, always be really social with your team. And even if it's just one person, a coffee, definitely post it. Whenever I came to Plexus, I was in real estate before, and I came, to lose weight and to get healthy. Well, fortunately, my upline followed me very closely, and I think that's really important with blues because we do have shorter attention spans, and when things get ick, we're kind of out the door. And so I had crazy die-off my first couple of months. But my upline was basically checking in with me constantly and was like, whenever I was saying, oh gosh, I feel like, crap, this is awful, like this and this, she was responding to me with, yay, that's awesome, it's working, write it out, that's so great, you're going to feel awesome. There was never any like down in the dumps feeling or, oh, maybe, it was just always a celebration on her side, which really helped me stick it out because I was like, okay, let me just keep going. And because once you get a blue, I think the problem with blues sometimes can be maybe they are, at least for myself, I'm hesitant about sharing Plexus or doing a multi-level marketing company because my friends are so important to me. They're everything to me. And I do not want to be seen as a crazy person pushing something. So this is nothing I would have ever done. So getting a blues testimony is huge. Getting them, it's huge for anyone. But sharing the comp plan with a blue is not going to it's not going to mean anything, okay? Because one, they're not going to hear you. I didn't understand the comp plan until well after I was gold. I never even looked at it. Yeah. We just are not interested. There are tons of things in the back office that I don't have any idea what it's for. I've never even looked at it. And that sounds crazy for people that I'm a jewel and, I have over 1,000 people on my team and I still don't know how to do all this stuff. My brain does not work that way at all. And if I try to force it, I completely shut down. And I won't retain anything. So it's kind of like a little ADD. You have to like throw fun stuff in. So whenever I got my testimony, I felt compelled to share, so much so that it was worth me going out and risking friendships. And then eventually what kept me and building the business was I earned a leaders retreat and as a gold. And at Leaders Retreat, I partied with Celeste and Sonia Dudley and Amy Kosmolsky. And I was like, we were doing karaoke. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most fun I've ever had in my life. I will never miss another one of these events again. That is what made me eventually decide to sell, was that I had the best time of my life at Leaders Retreat in DC. So I was a gold at Leaders Retreat in DC, and that was in October. And then by May, I was emerald. And I remember hearing there that Celeste, the first time she went to convention, or that she walked across the stage as, I can't remember what it is now, an emerald or diamond, or probably a diamond, I don't know. But I remember thinking, oh, I'm going to do that too. And I remember thinking, that's fun. Like, that's a fun thing. So I get to go on stage. Like, that's fun. Yeah. And I was all about it. And I was like, there was nothing going to stop me to hit emerald by convention, because I really just wanted to do it because I thought it was fun. Yeah. So I would just make sure all of your posts are really happy and engaging. Blues really like social people, so definitely get out there. If you are not a social person, you are more social than you realize. When you are out at a restaurant, tag yourself there. Just anytime you are out doing anything that maybe you see as boring, a blue might seem like, you may think, why am I going to tag myself at Uncle Julio's? Well, you know why? Because a blue likes that. Mm-hmm. So definitely tag yourself at the movies, tag yourself out at restaurants, tag yourself at Starbucks. Like, tag yourself at all those places. Anytime you're out and about, post selfies with your team. I'm just trying to look to see if when in doubt, if you feel like you aren't connecting with a lot of people and you're really pushing for those blues, post funny pictures, share what you love, and just comment. You have to build those relationships with blue. So you're going to have to go to their, Facebook pages. You're going to have to comment on their stuff. You're going to have to become their friend. You reaching out to them and cold messaging them, hey, do you want to try Plexus? I mean, maybe not. If somebody did that to me, it wouldn't have worked. I mean, my sister-in-law is Angela Faith, and she's a Sapphire. She was on Plexus for 1.5 years before I joined. So you have to build that relationship, post the fun, Oh, and then this is a big one. If you get any presents or you win any prizes with your team or contest, post it. Like, I always know who the Blues are on my team. If I send them a gift or a present and they actually share it on Facebook, that is like free advertisement right there. So anytime, even if you don't love it, like say if you won a prize and you don't think it's the best prize, it doesn't matter. Somebody else might think it's a fantastic prize. So post it and be like, oh my gosh, how fun. I just received this from my upline. Or, oh my gosh, look at, whatever. Post it, pump up the excitement, and that, because Blues will be attracted to that.
Yes, that is so true. Thank you. And a couple other things like what you said, always check in. Doesn't matter if you're by yourself or just like you and a friend or you and a spouse, right? Nobody needs to know that. They just need to know that you're out and about and posting those things. The other thing I would say, along with, you talked about Leaders Retreat. And so just because maybe somebody doesn't earn Leaders Retreat, maybe you're a brand new ambassador, you can still post about Leaders Retreat, Hawaii, even like Super Saturday. That's a bunch of people. Now, Blues see it as a bunch of people getting together. Like, I can't wait to go to Super Saturday to see everybody. Whereas
Totally.
a Green might be excited about Super Saturday for the training or the information. Don't hesitate, though, to post about it, maybe even if you're not going to Hawaii or you haven't qualified. The other thing I would say to that, though, is when you do post about those things, try to tag a Blue. Tag, I'm a Blue or I've been to Hawaii, tag me, but do not call me your upline. Do not call me your sponsor. Even if we've never met, call me your friend. That's what's going to attract other Blues for sure, is that social aspect, the fun, the friendship, not the upline, like you said. And, Elizabeth, it's so funny. Like you said, the compensation plan, it literally took me months. I probably was at least senior gold before the whole points thing even made sense to me. It just did not click, and I didn't want to read through all of that fine print to figure it out. So do you guys have any questions for some Blues? I'm getting some private chats that this has been super great and super helpful. Sorry, there's my daughter. It's past her nap time. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your experience being a Blue and what attracts you to Plexus.